Welcome to The Thinking Shelf, the podcast where timeless philosophies meet modern living. Here we explore the ideas that have shaped human thought for centuries, diving into the profound wisdom of world philosophies like Zen, Buddhism, Advaita Vedanta, and more. Each episode is your invitation to pause, reflect, and rediscover life's deeper meaning, whether it's through ancient teachings, meditative practices, or thought-provoking discussions. Pull up a seat, settle your mind, and let's begin another conversation from the Thinking Shelf.
All right, let's dive into the core of Zen practice with Shunryu Suzuki's Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind.
Okay.
This book, it's really a collection of his talks about Zen meditation and practice.
Yeah.
It was published way back in 1970.
A long time ago.
And it's become kind of a modern classic for anyone looking to understand Zen practice. And we're going to try to distill the key takeaways from it.
Yeah.
So what makes Suzuki's approach unique,
Well, I think what's really fascinating about Suzuki's perspective on Zen is that he doesn't present it as this super complicated philosophy.
Right.
He makes it very practical and down to earth. Like, how can we integrate this into our everyday lives?
Right. One of the things that really stood out to me was his concept of beginner's mind. He has this famous quote.
Yeah.
In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. See that.
Such a powerful quote.
What do you think he means by that?
Well, it's not about literally being a beginner at everything, right? It's more of an approach to life and to Zen practice with a sense of openness and curiosity.
Wow.
Like, think about when you're a beginner at something.
Yeah.
You're really eager to learn.
Yeah.
You're not attached to outcomes.
Right.
You're just present to the experience itself.
Yeah, like when you travel to a new place, like everything is fresh and exciting. You're not stuck in your same old routines and assumptions.
Yeah, you're open to the new possibilities.
And how does this idea of beginner's mind, how does this connect to Zen practice specifically?
Yeah.
Like, how does it play out in something like Zazen?
Oh, well, I think...
Like seated meditation.
Exactly. You know, when you approach Zazen with that beginner's mind, you're not attached to achieving some particular state or reaching enlightenment.
Right.
You're just present with the experience of sitting there, paying attention to your breath, to your body, and there's this openness and acceptance, even to the discomfort that might come up.
It makes me think about how often I approach things with a very like goal-oriented mindset, always kind of striving for something, maybe missing the richness.
The present moment.
Yeah. So you're saying just sit down
just be
and to be present. That's where the magic happens.
Absolutely. And, Suzuki also says it's not like we just turn this on during meditation.
Okay.
It's a way of approaching life.
Gotcha.
So, like, imagine having a conversation.
Yeah.
And you go in with that beginner's mind, You're not trying to prove your point. You're really listening, like really present to what the other person is saying.
Yeah.
And it can just transform how we interact with the world.
It's almost like beginner's mind is a superpower. Almost.
Yes.
Like you're able to see the world with less judgment and more curiosity.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned Zazen.
Yeah.
I know Suzuki places a lot of emphasis on physical posture during meditation.
Yes.
Why is that so important? Is it just about, being comfortable?
Well, comfort's a part of it.
Okay.
But he saw the full lotus position, which you see pictures of often.
Right.
He saw it as more than just a way to sit.
Okay.
It embodies these key Zen principles.
Okay, like what?
Okay, so for example, the full lotus, left foot on the right thigh and right foot on the left.
Right.
It represents this idea of not two and not one.
Okay.
It's like this physical manifestation of the interconnectedness of seemingly separate things.
Okay.
And this is core.
So it's like my legs are both distinct and unified at the same time.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And this reflects a deeper truth about reality itself.
Right.
That duality we think about, the separation between ourselves and the world, is ultimately an illusion.
Gotcha.
And Suzuki believed that. Maintaining that correct posture helps focus the mind.
Right.
It kind of embodies these principles, makes them more than just ideas.
Yeah, it makes me want to try sitting in full lotus right now, just to experience
it's tempting.
that sense of interconnectedness. Although I will say, I'm not sure my knees would cooperate.
And Suzuki, he acknowledged that full lotus can be challenging, especially for Westerners who aren't used to sitting on the floor all the time.
Right.
He suggested modifications like half lotus or even sitting in a chair.
Okay.
What's important is finding a posture that allows you to have that grounded presence and alertness without it being a distraction.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
Not forcing your body into a pretzel.
Yes.
Suzuki also talks about Zen Mind is just sitting. I love the simplicity of that statement, but I have a feeling there's a lot packed into those few words.
He's not suggesting...
What's your take on it?
No, he's not suggesting that we should all become hermits.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about cultivating that presence and attentiveness that we have in meditation in every moment.
Okay.
Whether you're washing dishes or having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's bringing that quality to everything.
I'm remembering that anecdote he shares about observing a frog. It just sits there perfectly still, completely absorbed, in the present moment, and then bam,
catches a
fly with lightning speed. It's both hilarious and profound.
That's exactly what he's getting at.
Yeah.
The frog isn't trying to be a frog.
Right.
It just is.
Yeah.
And so when we bring that quality to our lives, to our everyday experience, that's when Zen really comes alive.
Yeah.
It's about integrating it into the fabric of our life.
Like when a frog becomes a frog, Zen becomes Zen.
Exactly.
It's a great line. I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
That Zen isn't about striving for some distant goal, but rather finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
In the everyday, you're getting it.
And just being present.
And Suzuki emphasizes that this enlightenment or awakening, it's not something we attain in the future.
Right.
It's available right now in every moment.
Gotcha.
And that brings us to another key concept.
Yeah.
The idea that practice is enlightenment.
So it's not practicing to become enlightened.
Yeah.
But it's realizing that enlightenment...
Yeah, it's inherent in the practice.
Is inherent in the practice.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Think of it this way, like you're not practicing Zazen to become a Buddha.
Yeah.
You're practicing Zazen because you are a Buddha.
Okay.
Even if you don't realize it yet.
Right.
So the practice is about uncovering that truth.
That totally reframes the whole idea of spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about striving for some future goal.
Right.
But it's about experiencing the fullness
of now.
Of the present moment. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
And Suzuki has this wonderful story about this monk named Nangaku.
Okay.
And a monk asks Nangaku how to attain Buddhahood, and the master replies, "Do you want to attain Buddhahood?
Okay.
There is no Buddhahood besides your ordinary mind. When a cart does not go, which do you whip, the cart or the horse?"
Wow. It's like you saying stop searching for something outside yourself.
Absolutely.
The enlightenment you seek is already within you.
Yeah, that's right.
And through sincere and consistent practice, we can experience this truth.
Yes.
Not as some abstract concept, but as a lived reality.
Exactly. It's about waking up to the fact that our Buddha nature is always present.
Right.
It's just waiting to be discovered.
Okay. This is all so eye-opening.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, there's one thing that's been tugging at my mind.
Okay.
Suzuki talks about the importance of effort in Zen practice.
Yeah.
Yet he also emphasizes this idea of attaining a state of non-effort.
Yeah.
So
it seems paradoxical.
How do those two seemingly opposing ideas work together? It feels like a bit of a paradox.
It is a paradox, and that's part of the beauty of it.
Okay.
Think about it like learning a new skill, maybe playing a musical instrument or something.
Okay, yeah.
At first, it requires a lot of conscious effort.
Sure.
Right? You have to focus on each note, each movement. But as you practice, as you become more proficient, it starts to flow more naturally.
Right. Yeah.
The effort becomes more refined.
Okay.
You know?
So it's not about becoming like lazy or passive.
No, not at all.
But it's about refining our efforts.
Yes.
So they become more aligned with our true nature.
Exactly. Through consistent practice, we can transcend that forceful striving and enter a state of non-effort where our actions are arising spontaneously and naturally from this place of clarity and presence.
It reminds me of what I've heard about like athletes and artists entering a flow state.
Yes.
Where
a perfect example.
Their actions just seem to flow effortlessly.
Yeah.
Almost without thought.
Yeah, and this non-effort isn't about being passive or disengaged.
Right.
It's actually a very dynamic state of heightened awareness and responsiveness.
Interesting.
Like this effortless effort.
Yeah, this is blowing my mind a little bit.
No, it's not.
It's like he's saying the more
paradox.
we let go, the more we find ourselves.
Yes. And this leads us to another core concept that often trips people up.
Right.
The concept of emptiness.
Yep.
I know it can sound kind of intimidating.
Emptiness.
But it's really about understanding the nature of reality itself.
Okay, I'm ready to dive into emptiness.
Okay.
But before we go there, let's take a pause.
Yeah, let's let this all sink in for a bit.
And let all of this sink in a bit.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We've covered a lot of ground from beginner's mind to practice as enlightenment to this paradox of effort and non-effort.
It's a lot to digest.
Yeah, it is.
We'll be back soon to continue our exploration of Zen Mind, beginner's mind.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
Okay. So we were about to explore this concept of emptiness.
Right.
I'll admit it sounds a little intimidating. Does it mean like everything is meaningless?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Emptiness in Zen is one of those ideas that can be easily misunderstood.
Okay.
It's not about nothingness.
Right.
It's more about potential.
Okay.
So think of it like the vast open sky. It's empty in the sense that it's not cluttered with objects.
Right.
But it's full of potential for, clouds and stars and rainbows.
Right. So it's more about a possibility than nothingness.
Yes, exactly.
But how does this relate to our everyday lives?
Well, think about your mind for a moment. When it's cluttered with thoughts, worries, plans, it's hard to see clearly, to be creative, to respond spontaneously.
Sure, yeah.
But when you when you create space in your mind, when you cultivate this sense of emptiness, that's when inspiration can arise.
Okay.
That's when you connect with your intuition and you can respond to situations with more clarity.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like when you declutter your home.
Yes.
You create space for new things to come in.
Yeah, new things.
Yeah.
New energy to flow.
And Suzuki emphasizes that realizing this truth of emptiness can actually lead to freedom from suffering.
Yeah, freedom from suffering.
When we cling to the idea of a separate thought in itself, we suffer because we're
because we're afraid.
We're constantly afraid of losing things.
Yeah, of losing things, of change, of death even.
It's like we build our identity around all these things we think we possess.
Yeah, our accomplishments.
Our accomplishments, our relationships.
Yeah, our possessions.
Our possessions. And then we live in fear.
In fear of losing them.
Of losing them.
Exactly. But when we realize that everything is interconnected and impermanent, arising from and returning to this ground of emptiness, we can let go of that fear.
So instead of seeing loss as something to be feared, we can see it as
part of a natural cycle.
Part of a natural cycle, a transformation.
And transformation, exactly.
And this realization can bring a profound sense of peace and liberation.
Liberation, yeah.
It allows us to appreciate the beauty of life, even in its impermanence. Knowing that nothing's truly lost, it just
changes form.
Changes form.
Exactly.
It's like we're shifting our perspective from a limited, ego-centered
view
to a wider, more expansive view
that encompasses the whole.
And that encompasses the whole of existence.
You're getting it. And this wider perspective is what Suzuki refers to as big mind.
Okay.
It's this boundless awareness that's always present, even when our thoughts are racing, even when we're caught up in our emotion.
We touched on this idea of big mind earlier when we were talking about no mind. It sounds like they're connected in some way.
They are.
Oh, okay.
Remember how we talked about no mind not being about emptying the mind completely, but moving beyond the limitations of our thinking mind? Big mind is what we tap into. When we go beyond those limitations, it's the vast, spacious awareness that encompasses all things without judgment or separation.
So it's like no mind is the gateway.
You could say that.
To big mind. It's about quieting the chatter of our thoughts, so that we can experience this wider,
this more all-encompassing awareness. Yes. And Suzuki suggests that we can access this big mind through the practice of zazen, through cultivating a deep mindful presence.
That makes sense. Like like we're creating space in our minds, clearing away the mental clutter, so we can experience the spaciousness of our true nature.
It's like clearing away the clouds to reveal the vastness of the sky.
And Suzuki emphasizes that this big mind, this boundless awareness, isn't something separate from us. It's our very own.
It's our essence.
Yes. So it's not about becoming something we're not, but rather realizing what we already are.
Exactly. And that realization, that awakening to our true nature, that's the ultimate aim of Zen practice.
This is all incredibly insightful, but I have to admit, some of these concepts like emptiness and big mind can feel a bit abstract at times. How can we make them more
that's a great question.
More concrete.
And this is where Suzuki's emphasis on practice comes in. Remember how we talked about that idea that practice is enlightenment? It's not just about intellectual understanding. It's about embodying these principles in our lives.
So how do we do that? How do we bridge the gap between these abstract concepts and our daily experience?
Suzuki suggests that we start by bringing a sense of mindfulness to everything we do.
So instead of rushing through our day
on autopilot,
we can slow down, pay attention, be present,
and really experience each moment.
Experience each.
So whether we're eating a meal, washing the dishes, or having a conversation, we can bring that same
that same quality
of presence and attentiveness that we cultivate during
exactly. And as we do this, as we practice bringing this mindful awareness to our everyday lives, these concepts start to become more real. It's like we're integrating Zen
into
the fabric of our
Into the fabric of our lives.
Lives.
Exactly.
We're weaving it into every moment.
And as we do that,
Yeah.
we start to see the world differently.
Right.
We notice the interconnectedness of all things, the impermanence of all phenomena.
Okay.
We begin to appreciate the beauty in the ordinary, the sacredness in the everyday.
It's like we're putting on a new pair of glasses.
Yeah, a new pair of glasses
that reveal these these hidden dimensions.
The hidden dimensions, exactly.
Reality.
And as we continue to practice, these insights deepen.
Okay.
And we experience this growing sense of freedom and peace.
So it sounds like Suzuki is suggesting that Zen practice isn't about escaping from the world, but rather engaging with it more fully.
More consciously.
More consciously.
He is, and this engagement, this conscious participation in life, that's where we discover our true nature.
Okay.
Our Buddha nature.
This has been such a rich and thought-provoking conversation. Yeah. I feel like I'm starting to understand Zen in a whole new way.
Yeah.
But before we go too much further, I think it's time for another break.
Okay.
Let's give our listeners a moment.
Yes, a moment to digest all of this.
To digest all this incredible wisdom.
Yes.
We'll be back soon to wrap up our deep dive into Zen Mind, beginner's mind.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned. I feel like we've been on quite a journey, exploring the depths of Zen practice.
It is a journey.
So many of these ideas seem paradoxical at first.
Yeah.
But the more we talk about them, the more they start to
make sense.
Take sense.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Zen. It challenges our usual ways of thinking.
Right.
And it invites us to see the world from this fresh perspective. It's not about, memorizing doctrines or adhering to rigid rules.
Right.
It's about direct experience.
Okay.
About cultivating a certain quality of mind that allows us to see things as they truly are.
Speaking of seeing things as they are, one of the recurring themes in Zen Mind, beginner's mind, is this idea of accepting things.
Accepting things as they are.
As they are.
Yeah.
It's something that really resonates with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to be honest.
Yeah.
It can be tough.
It can be tough to put into practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Life throws a lot of curveballs.
It does.
And it's not always easy to just accept things, especially when they're
difficult or painful.
Difficult or painful.
Yeah, Zen isn't about becoming some kind of emotionless robot, immune to life's ups and downs. It's more about learning to meet those challenges with this mindful awareness, without clinging to what we want or pushing away what we don't want.
So it's not about denying our feelings, but rather learning to relate to them.
Learning to relate to them differently. Yeah.
It's like creating space.
Yeah.
Around our emotions, so we're not so overwhelmed by them.
You're exactly right. And Suzuki uses this great phrase, being the boss. He says, you should be the boss of your mind, not vice versa. It's about developing a sense of inner authority, of being grounded in our true nature.
Okay.
No matter what's happening around us.
And that kind of inner strength and stability doesn't come from ignoring our feelings.
Right.
But from
being present with them.
Without judgment. Without judgment.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how all these different aspects of Zen practice, beginner's mind, emptiness, non-effort, they all weave together.
They do. They all come to
create this sense of inner peace and freedom.
Yeah.
It's like we're cultivating a garden of awareness. And each practice is like a different tool.
Yep, a different tool.
To help us tend to that garden.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
And just like tending a garden, Zen practice requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to embrace the messy, imperfect process of growth.
Okay.
There will be times when we feel lost,
Sure.
confused, frustrated even.
Right.
But even those challenges
Yeah.
can be opportunities for learning and growth.
Okay.
Suzuki reminds us that even the Buddha himself was a beginner once.
There's something very comforting about that.
Yeah.
It makes Zen practice feel more
It does.
accessible. More human.
Very human, yeah.
It's not about achieving some perfect state,
Heaven's enlightenment.
but rather engaging in this lifelong
process
of learning and growth.
Yes.
Speaking of the Buddha,
Right.
Suzuki talks about how Zanzen seated meditation can help us connect with our Buddha nature.
Yeah.
That potential for awakening that exists within each of us.
Within each of us.
How does that work?
Well, when we sit in Zazen,
Yeah.
we're not trying to become something. We're not.
Right.
We're simply creating the conditions for our true nature to reveal itself. It's like polishing a tile.
Okay.
You're not trying to turn the tile into a jewel.
Right.
You're simply removing the dirt and the grime to reveal its inherent beauty.
Right.
In the same way, Zazen helps us to clear away the mental clutter, the limiting beliefs and habits, so that we can experience the clarity and the wisdom of our true nature.
It's like peeling away the layers.
Yes, peeling away the layers.
It's like conditioning.
And conditioning.
And revealing the treasure
Yeah.
that was within us all along.
That was there all along.
Yeah.
Eric.
And Suzuki emphasizes that this practice of Zazen isn't limited to, sitting on a cushion.
It's not just about sitting on a cushion.
Yeah.
It's about bringing that same quality of mindfulness and presence to all aspects of our lives.
So it's about integrating Zen into the fabric of our
the fabric of our daily experience.
Whether we're washing the dishes, having a conversation, or even just walking down the street.
Even just walking down the street, And as we do this, as we cultivate this mindful awareness, we start to see the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah, Suzuki beautifully describes this in the book, comparing our lives to drops of water.
Drops of water.
Falling from a waterfall. Each drop, for a moment, experiences a sense of individuality, of separation. But ultimately, it returns to the river.
It returns to the river.
Rejoining the flow.
Exactly.
That's such a powerful metaphor.
It is a powerful metaphor.
For the journey of life and death.
Yeah.
For this ultimate interconnectedness.
Yes.
Of all beings.
Of all beings.
It's a reminder that we're not, separate entities, but rather
part of a larger whole.
Part of a larger whole.
Yeah.
And that realization can be profoundly liberating.
Yeah.
It can free us from the fear of death.
The fear of death.
And the anxiety of separation. We see that even though forms change.
Yeah.
Even though individual beings come and go. The essence of life continues. It's like understanding that even though individual waves appear and disappear. The ocean.
The ocean remains.
Yeah, there's this continuity, this flow.
That
transcends the boundaries of our individual lives. And as we awaken to this truth, we experience this deep sense of belonging and interconnectedness with all beings.
At the beginning of our deep dive, I asked if you were ready to explore we could cultivate a bit more Zen.
A bit more Zen in our own lives. Yeah.
And now, after exploring Zen mind, beginner's mind with you, I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of what that means.
That's wonderful.
It's not about becoming some kind of Zen master.
Right.
Sitting on a mountaintop. Yeah, it's not about that.
It's about bringing a sense of awareness of presence to each moment. Whether we're meditating, working, or simply enjoying.
We're simply enjoying a cup of tea.
Yeah. It's about embracing the paradoxes.
Embracing the paradox.
Letting go of our attachments.
Letting go of our attachments.
And awakening to the truth.
And awakening to the truth.
Of who we really are.
Of who we really are, yeah.
Absolutely.
Suzuki's book is a powerful invitation to embark on that journey of awakening.
Okay.
And as we've seen, it's not a journey that requires us to renounce the world or escape from our daily lives.
Right.
It's a journey that unfolds right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
In the midst
of our everyday
experience.
And what I love about Suzuki's teachings is that he makes this journey feel accessible.
Accessible to everyone.
To everyone.
You don't have to be a monk or a scholar to benefit from Zen practice.
You just need a beginner's mind.
A beginner's mind.
A willingness to learn and grow.
Learn and grow,
Zen mind, beginner's mind, is a reminder that the path to awakening isn't about seeking something outside ourselves. But rather
discovering the treasure.
About discovering the treasure.
That's already within us.
Yeah. It's about realizing
that our true nature
is
already whole and complete and free.
Complete and free. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
On this deep dive into
It's been a pleasure.
Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. We hope this exploration has been
I hope so.
Insightful and inspiring.
Yeah.
Will you continue to cultivate your beginner's mind?
Your beginner's mind.
Embracing the beauty and the wonder.
The beauty and the wonder.
Of each moment.
Thanks for tuning in to The Thinking Shelf. We hope today's episode gave you some valuable insights that can help you grow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay focused, stay intentional, and keep thinking deeply